Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is a NCAA champion, a man who is a second lieutenant in the Air Force. And obviously, we all learned of his story last weekend whenever he beat Gable Steveson in what people are calling the biggest upset in NCAA history. Ladies and gentlemen, from the Air Force and Oklahoma State, second lieutenant, Wyatt Hendrickson.
Yeah.
What's up, boss?
How you guys doing today?
Great, buddy. How are you doing, brother? How's life as the champ?
Man, it's been awesome. I mean, Stillwater has just been so supportive. As soon as we got off the plane, the town was here to greet us. We were going to the softball games, going to baseball games. And, I mean, just having a town like this, it just shows how deep the legacy runs here at Oklahoma State. I mean, we've got fans from, the past 40, 50 years that have been supporters of Oklahoma State University. And, I mean, that's still running rich. And, I think Oklahoma State's on to, we're picking up something special again. Obviously, Magic Man's in town. This was just the first year, but we got high goals going forward.
Okay, I love to hear that. And every time I watch Matt Madness, I think about how electrifying the environment is. What was it like in the building there in Philly? And you guys were billed as the main event. You guys won on last, especially because of everything that Gable has accomplished. I think he's become must-watch television, whether it's because people are massive supporters or he has people that are pulling against him at this point because of how much success he has had. What was the day like leading up to, and what was the arena like as you were out there? What a moment for you and your family, obviously. Congratulations on it all.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's been a long time coming. I've been wrestling for 19 years, so having a moment like that, celebrating with my family, it was awesome. But leading up to that day, even during the tournament, I don't like watching the tournament. I like to kind of stay in the back and focus on myself. And I was zoned in that day, leading all the way from, the morning of until, 5 minutes before the match. I was ready. I was confident in my training. I was ready to go put on display, the hard work I've been putting in the last 6-7 months. Because you don't decide the day of the tournament that you want to be a national champion. Oh, yeah. You need to decide that months in advance, because that's going to guide your training. That's going to depend how you train, and it's going to show on the mat when you go compete. So as soon as I walked out there, I have such good, I've done this a lot, so my tunnel vision was amazing. All I saw was that center mat. I didn't even see Gable was standing in the center with his arms open. He was kind of guarding the mat, like, hey, you're coming to Big Papa, you're taking on the champion. I was just so focused. I mean, he was saying stuff to me, but I didn't, I was just so zoned in. I wasn't listening to anything. So, the one moment I do remember it started to sink in was as soon as I got that takedown. I mean, you talk about feeling the environment. I could just, everything in my body was fully flexed. I was holding on to him. I could feel the place just erupting, but it wasn't over yet. There was still 20 seconds left in that match. So it was, probably one of the longest 20 seconds of my life, but I think it helped that I think Gable was a little bit stunned. He was almost, I'd even say, in disbelief that he just got taken down. I mean, you see him look up at his coach, look at the clock, and he's like, I didn't think this was going to happen. What do I do now? So, that was a really exciting match. But I also just want to say that Gable's still a great wrestler. He's obviously been in the sport for a long time. He's done so much for the great sport of wrestling, even bringing us an Olympic gold medal. And he's, multiple-time national champion. And he might still be in the game. So this is no time to let up. Obviously, just right before this, I was watching the show. It was up in the wrestling room while I was in there getting some work in. And, I'm just excited for what the future holds. So I'm not slowing down. I'm excited to go get, a gold medal of my own here when LA 2028 comes around.
Okay, so that is the question, because we know, we looked into it a little bit, and you might be able to correct us if our research is wrong. And congrats to that is so sweet to watch the family, especially with how grueling and hard wrestling is and the amount of commitment that takes for your entire life. You guys not only beat the shit out of your ears like we see, but your bodies and everything. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that is like, it's a grueling sport. It is very difficult. A lot of discipline, a lot of accountability, a lot of hard work. So watching your families go crazy after the win, it's part of the Madness magic. That entrance that you had there with that American flag coming out and then behind you with the fire. I mean, what a moment. You said you were zoned in, but that is a piece of content that I hope you and your family watch forever, because that is a sweet entrance, and I like the fact that the Madness folks appreciate this part of the spectacle and make it a show. But that American flag obviously means a lot to you, not only because you're a great American, but also you're a second lieutenant in the Air Force. We think what we read was you had to transfer to Oklahoma State to continue your wrestling career because the military academies don't have graduate competitors in their sports. Is that accurate? And what is next for you? Do you have to go to Air Force? You said 2028 you're focusing on. What is next for somebody in your position? Because I don't think we fully understand it all. And thank you for your service.
Absolutely. Yes, well, thank you very much for your guys' support. This is a kind of a unique program, I would say. But so yes, the academy only has it's a 4-year. There's no graduate program there. So about 20% of the graduating class actually goes to grad school. Because it's getting a master's is something that we need to obtain sometime along the line. But I was actually able to get in the WCAP program, which is the World Class Athlete program, of course, through the Air Force. And I brought up to their attention. I said, hey, I can maybe get some schooling done, and I could also use my last year of eligibility because I do have that because of the COVID year. And, they were on board with it. They supported me in that. And the WCAP program will last. I'm going to be in it for 4 years. So pretty much my main job is going to be representing the Air Force on the wrestling mat. So I'm really grateful to be in this position to where I get to, serve this great country while wrestling on the wrestling mat. But of course, after those 4 years, I'll still be able to go be in the Air Force for a minimum of 5. So my long-term goal has been to make the military a career. I love this country. I think the best thing for me to do to give back is to be serving. And we talk about running out with that American flag. I'm serving under that flag. I love this country. I got in the service for a reason. So I think bringing that to the attention of everyone, I don't feel bad for that at all. I think some people are like, it's most common to see that when you're a world champ or Olympic champ, and I was a U23 world champion, so I've known what it felt like to carry that flag. And I think even though we're doing it in other countries and worlds, I was like, why don't we bring that back? Pat Glory did it a couple years ago. All the feedback on that was great, and I was like, hey.
You should not feel bad about it at all, brother. You should not feel. If you heard any negative feedback, you're A-okay with us. We're telling you how awesome it is. And the World Class Athlete Program, obviously that's for the next 4 years. You're just going to be preparing for Olympics there. Is that goal in representing the Air Force in the Olympics and getting a gold medal for the Air Force in the Olympics? That'd be a big deal. That's mindset now.
Absolutely, yeah. Obviously, it feels great to fly that flag here, but LA 2028, that's also going to be here, so that'll be exciting. In that moment, I can only imagine comparing the clips years from now when I'm in LA and I got that American flag around my back once again, and it's just that's the ultimate goal right now.